$WARD nigga. NAYIMED.
Welcome back. My name is Nayim Edwards. I was just thinking. There's no hood movie better than Juice. Because Juice is as 1-to-1 as it gets as far as movie and realism. Now let me explain that, because we'll talk about the bullshit at the end, right? In real life, we talking about out here, not online, not sci-fi, whatever, right? The beginning of this movie, you see these 4 high school seniors or whatever. They're probably seniors, juniors, it doesn't matter. They're at least 16 or 17 years old. For the most part, these is regular niggas, like regular teenage children. You got the one that's kind of crazy, which was Bishop. But when you examine Bishop character, we'll talk about it in a second. Bishop, Hakeem, whatever the fuck his name was, he had a child as a teenager. The weird, lame ass fat friend, and was it 3 or was it 4 of them? It was Bishop, Hakeem, weird fat friend. Oh yeah, and the nigga who lived to tell the fucking story, right? Like unharmed for the most part lived. So these was regular children for the most part. Children being anybody under 18. These was regular motherfuckers. Like, these wasn't gang members. These niggas wasn't selling dope. These were impressionable children. And when there was a scene in the beginning of the movie, or the middle of the beginning of the movie, where the motherfucker robbed the pool hall, or he robs whatever the fuck, he robbed somewhere, and Tupac character in the movie, he's talking about that motherfucker, he got the whatever, he's the motherfucker with the juice, he's the motherfucker, like, that's cool, we should have been in there to back him up, when the other nigga was just the one from the end. He just standing there like, oh my god, like, you know, he's in there sticking the place up. He asked me if I wanted a piece, you know. These is regular kids. Now in real life, do it happen like that? No, but these type of children are likely to be the type of children you run into. Tupac was a bitch in this movie. Point blank period. He was a bitch. You saw where he came and motherfucking, he saw his friends across the street when the other crew of young niggas was all in his face about to beat his ass, probably for the nth time, because we kind of just get dropped into a situation. We don't know nothing aside from when the movie opens, that these niggas is just regular fucking impressionable children. Impressionable young adults, but older teenage children. He wasn't gonna make no move. The Tupac character wasn't gonna make no move on these niggas about to beat his fucking ass for talking shit. It was only until he saw his friends in the background when he decided to jump bad. He decided to play hard because he knew that the friends was gonna come over and break that shit up or have his back. That happens in real life. Your children, no matter where you are, that happens. Excuse me. That happens in real life. The young nigga with the motherfucking baby, that happens. Young, good-looking niggas have children all the time. They don't gotta be good-looking, you know what I'm saying? He was clearly the handsome one of the friend group, the super handsome one. He had the baby with the teenage girl and the baby mama drama and all of this, and wanted to get back with the girl, and that's real. That is likely to happen. The weirdo in the arcade ass nigga, he's weird. That's likely to happen where you have a kid who is just kind of like, I don't know, man, moping around in the motherfucking way, don't want to get up for school, fighting in the house with the whatever. And the other nigga, he's just trying to, he got a goal, he got a dream, he can accomplish something. And you see him, and he know that this weird ass environment that they live in is like, I'm not supposed to be in this environment, but I'm in this environment. So I gotta do what I gotta do because I want to get out of it. And then you see that when he goes to the little Queen Latifah DJ thing. And this is where I say it gets the realest at, because after whoever the fuck that was robbed that whatever the fucking place that was, 4 niggas who never would have thought about robbing no place if they didn't have nobody in proximity or somebody that they knew doing it, did it. They wouldn't have did that shit if you didn't have that one friend in the friend group playing mind games and manipulating and doing all this other shit. Like, you had the one person in the friend group who was so powerful and so much of an influence that he convinced motherfuckers who, that light-skinned nigga never would have robbed nobody. They thought they was gonna go in that store and dot out, especially that arcade ass Pac-Man world, Miss Pac-Man ass character. He would have never robbed nobody. And obviously the nigga who had some potential to do something with his life wasn't thinking about robbing nobody. But you got one psychopath in the friend group who, he don't give a fuck about his life, self-admitted in the movie. He don't give a fuck about what's going on. This motherfucker just off doing whatever the fuck. He done went and got a $200 gun. That is real, depending on where you from or whatever. But in most places you can get a cheap gun off the street, especially as a kid. Kids have guns everywhere, especially out here. Goddamn, they go into the store, rob them. Nigga it wasn't no accident, but you done went trying to rob somebody for $100, you done killed them, and now you on the run. So this is where it really gets real at. And if you are not from a culture where this has happened, or a situation, you haven't been in those situations like this, or known somebody extremely close to you. So when a murder happens and there are no leads, no witnesses, nobody or whatever, somebody's gonna go to jail. Point blank period. Somebody's gonna get arrested. Somebody's gonna go to jail. Something's gonna happen to somebody. It might not be as fast. It might not be as whatever. People will be questioned. Obviously, they knew who they was looking for. They just needed to find out who did what and where's the murder weapon and all that. That is real life. A motherfucking police officer point you out. Detective pick you up. You're having your little conversations and doing all of this, and motherfuckers will let you go. They know who did what. They know they have proximity of who did what. They're just trying to figure out as much information. It's like when they get your mug shot and they blur that bitch and distort that bitch and put the surveillance, I would say your mug shot, but your surveillance video and blurred and all distorted on the goddamn TV. They got a clear, crystal clear picture of you in 480p or 1080p, 4K. They decided to not put that up there because it would be too easy. They looking for motherfuckers who could come and give information that they didn't have or corroborate what they already know. So they picked them young niggas up. And when you actually go look at the movie and it's the timeline, it wasn't that frame of a time from when Bishop fell off that building or got dropped to when Bishop killed that store owner. It wasn't that long of a time because, well, killed the store owner, rewind, killed his friend because they got into a fight. That shit happens all the time. Motherfucker, you done accidentally, well, there wasn't no accident, but in the real world, you done accidentally killed your friend because y'all fighting over some dumb shit. You got emotional, all in your feelings. Goddamn, you kill your friend, no respect, you leave them there. Motherfucker go to the funeral because they don't have no leads, no whatever. Cases go cold all the time because no witnesses, no leads, no evidence, nothing is, whatever. Motherfuckers is scared around you because you the crazy nigga. You the crazy friend. You the one who will actually do it. You a pussy, but you the one who will actually do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, pussies do plenty of... I know a pussy ass nigga doing 42 years. Right now. Used to come to my house every day. He was a bitch. Killed a bitch. Like, no control over himself. Killed a hoe. That didn't make him no gangster. He was just emotionally, somewhere else. So it's not that excuse me, it's not that much time between the two murders and then when he died. It was because motherfuckers is in the school. He done shot the other nigga because he felt like the other nigga was a bitch and was gonna tell. Because he was just completely fucking loony. Completely going upstairs or whatever. And that's a really true example of when you got a bitch ass friend. Because I would argue that Tupac was the pussy ass nigga of the group. Tupac was a bitchin' juice. Anybody, if you was walking down the street with a nigga who only is rowdy and tough when they with other niggas, that's a bitch. If you had a homegirl who she could only do that when she with you, that bitch that's a hoe. Like, that bitch is a bitch. That bitch is not about to do nothing. Like, if you wasn't there, that bitch would have kept walking. If he was, that nigga would have out of sight, out of mind. And Tupac's character is a true testament. Again, this is as close to 1-to-1 as you're gonna get without the theatrics of when you give a bitch ass nigga a little bit of power. You give a bitch ass nigga a little bit of authority. You give a bitch ass nigga a higher position or a little higher ranking or higher seat somewhere. That is what happens. They go completely punch drunk with this shit, and this shit is just all downhill from fucking there. Nigga ends up dying. We ain't gonna gotta go through it. You know what happened. They talk to him and he a bitch and he tried to set the other nigga up. So he tried to clean his name up because he really the dirty one, but he tried to blame the other nigga, and your whole outlook on life done changed. You really want to say something, but I ain't no snitch. I ain't gonna say nothing. And argue with yourself. Argue with your grandma ghost about how you feel about that. It's just like that friend group. These was not gangsters. These was not killers. Like real, like I'm just gonna kill you. These wasn't drug. These was regular kids in a fucked up environment that got sucked into this idea that I have to be this in order to be loved by a community that don't even give a fuck about themselves. That's real. That's why Juice is the realest one. This is why Juice is like the best one, because it's the one that this isn't like Set It Off. The motherfuckers robbed the bank. Them bitches would have been dead in the beginning. Like, you not robbing no banks. Like, you might, but you probably won't let the Taliban, they'll kill you. You'll end up killing yourself trying to run. A lot of people going to run and die. You know what I'm saying? Like, all type of shit. Like, this isn't paid in full. A nigga sell dope. You might sell dope, but you're not going to get to Alpo level of selling dope. You'll have enough money to pay your mama rent and buy some tennis shoes. Sneaker money. Fucking Don Perrier, whatever the fuck people drink money. You're not going to get Kingpin. If you make Kingpin status, that's some other world shit. That shit is so far-fetched. So out of a motherfucking reach. Niggas don't have 2-3 months things out here. And then you know, like, that shit is just not as 1-to-1 as Juice. And that's just my take on that. My name is Nayim Edwards.
Nayimedward, $, nigga. Nayime.